Hello everyone, my name is Hannah and I am the owner and artist behind a business called Hannah Banana Creations, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Let's get started. My physical shop location is located in Fairfield, Iowa, but I also sell items online on Etsy. I will link that in the description below, or you can also find my shop by just searching Hannah Banana Creations. The decor style that I love the most is boho style, eclectic, mid-century modern, and anything of that sort. So a lot of the things that I flip and things that I sell in my shop reflect those decor styles. In today's video, I'm going to flip 5 different items for profit to sell in my shop and online. First up is this boho floral vase. The first thing I had to do on this vase was to get off all the stickers, and a lot of them were being really stubborn. So to get them off, I used lemon oil, essential oils. You can use different kinds of lemon oil. I know Amazon sells a generic one, but this is just what I happen to have on hand. So what you want to do is take your lemon oil, put it on whatever sticky item is on whatever you're trying to paint, and then either take a razor blade or just use your fingernails to scrape off the residue. Since this piece was really shiny, I took it outside and just gave it a quick all-over coat of white spray paint. This way it'll help the chalk paint adhere a little bit better. So as you can see, my spray paint layer isn't perfect. I just needed a quick coat to give something for this chalk paint to stick to. I did 2 full coverage coats all over this piece, and then I also made sure to paint in circles and kind of in different directions to make sure to get into all the grooves and carvings of these flowers on this vase. After my 2 coats of paint have fully dried, I am now going to seal the piece with wax. And this is actually Dixie Belle wax. It's just what I had on hand. I had a little bit left in this can, so I'm just trying to use up supplies that I have. This clear wax will seal my paint job on this piece, and it'll also be a good buffer for the next step that I'm going to do, which is to add black wax to my piece. Whenever you add black wax to any of your projects, you want to be sure to add clear wax first. This will act as a buffer between your chalk paint underneath and the black wax that you're adding on top. That way the black wax won't completely muddy up your paint job and change the color of it. The goal here is to actually just accent the details that are carved into the vase, which is the purpose of adding the black wax. And as you can see here, when I wipe back the excess black wax, you can see how it sat down into the carvings on the vase. So when I was done with the piece, I just rubbed the black wax off, and if you realize you have a little bit too much black wax and it's too dark, just take your white wax and it acts like an eraser, and then it'll lighten it up even more. And here are the final results of this piece here. I love the way that the black wax accented all the carvings on the vase, because honestly I think they were really pretty and they needed to be shown off. So if you're interested in purchasing this vase, it is available for $20.95 and it is available in my Etsy shop. The link is down below. Okay, so for my next flip, I'm going to take this wood sign that's been sitting in my shop, honestly, for a really long time. I even had it marked down all the way to $6, as you can see here, and it still didn't sell. So we're going to repaint it. The first step I had to do on this piece was to give it an all-over quick scuff sand to get off any of the raised edges from the previous paint job, so none of that would show through on my new one. The paint that I'm going to be using on this piece is called Sandy Tan Toes by Junk Monkey Paint Company, and I'm actually going to be using this paint for all my flips today. I wanted to go with more of a neutral look for all the pieces that I'm doing today. I have a lot of color in my shop right now, so I kind of just need something more on the neutral side, and plus it's kind of a good refresh for spring that's coming up to have, more neutral pieces. So to update this sign, I'm actually going to be hand drawing some botanical ink drawings on these. And I'm just using a variety of ink and paint pens that I have on hand, so nothing particular. Anything you have on hand will do. So I didn't draw any particular botanical or any particular flower. I just scrolled through Pinterest and Instagram for some inspiration, and then freehanded some designs based on what I saw scrolling through those. To make this piece easy to hang, I'm attaching a beaded garland, which is actually just a mini tree garland that I bought around Christmas time, and it actually works great for a lot of DIY projects. So I flipped the piece over, and then I already had some D hooks attached to it from when I previously made this sign, and then I just cut the ends off, took off a couple beads so I'd have room to tie it, and then attached it to both sides. To make the hanger really secure, I put some beads of hot glue on both sides, just so in case the twine, happens to unravel over time, that it wouldn't come untied from the hangers and it would be secure. And this is how this piece turned out. I'm really happy with how the botanical ink drawings turned out. It's just something that I, whipped up really quickly and had fun with. If you're interested in purchasing this piece, it's available for $22.95 in my Etsy shop. For my next flip, I'm going to be redoing this piece of scrap wood. It's just a 2x4. I, for some reason, have tons of scrap 2x4s laying around, so here's what I'm going to do this one. I'm giving it a quick all-over coat of Junk Monkey chalk paint in that same color, the Sandy Tan Toes, and I just did, all over coat on both sides and then let that dry completely. To add a little more interest to the background of this piece, and to add a little bit of boho flair, I'm using this Moroccan stencil. The brush I'm using is actually a JRV stencil brush, and whenever you're doing stencil work, you want to get a brush that has densely packed bristles so it'll be easier to dab the paint on, and so your stencil will turn out clean. So I'm going to be turning this scrap wood piece into a little sign, and I have a bunch of these scrapbooking chipboard letters laying around. They're just leftover pieces from all kinds of different sets. None of them have matching colors, so I decided to use it for some sign work. And right now I'm just painting them all black so they all match. Next, I needed to attach my letters, so to do this, I laid them all out first to make sure that they were centered and evenly placed, and then I attached them just using some hot glue on the back of each letter. And here's how this piece turned out. It was a great way to use up some scrap wood that I had laying around and some extra craft supplies. If you're interested in purchasing this piece, it is available for $14.95 in my Etsy shop. For my next flip, I'm going to be doing a floral arrangement, and I'm going to be doing it in this box that I thrifted at some point, who knows when. I thrift a lot. But to make this over, I'm just using that same color chalk paint, doing 2 coats of full coverage all over the box. To add a little bit more details to the box, I am going to be stamping some designs on it. This is a stamp from Redesigned by Prima, and I'm just blotting some ink on so I can get the image onto my box. These decor stamps can be kind of tricky, and they do take a little bit of practice, but the most important thing to remember is that once you have your stamp on your project, not to shift it around. That's when the stamp turns out blurry, and you just want to make sure to keep it nice and still. Next, I'm going to be gluing in some floral foam into the bottom of this box so I have something for my floral stems to stick into when I'm doing my floral arrangement. Whenever I'm using hot glue, I always try to get the Gorilla Glue brand glue sticks because their adhesion is just much better than any of the other brands, so I find that my pieces stay together a lot better using those. To disguise the floral foam a little bit, I decided to add some fake moss, which you can find at either the Dollar Tree or any other craft store. I believe the one that I'm using is actually from the Dollar Tree. Then to attach the moss to the foam, I just use some hot glue and then pat down the moss on top. For my floral arrangement, I'm just going to use up some old greens and floral that I already had in my craft stash. So for the first layer, I just added a bunch of these ferns all around the bottom and then just worked my way up from there. Next, I'm adding the flowers, trying to keep the tallest in the middle and then work my way around that. And here's how this little flip turned out. I think it's a great little piece for spring. The neutral florals make it good for either year-round decor or seasonal decor. And if you're interested in purchasing, it's available for $23.95 in my Etsy shop. For my last flip, I'm going to be updating this little mini wicker chair, which are really cute for little plant stands or for any type of boho decor. So unfortunately, this poor little leg fell off, and to reattach it, I'm just using some hot glue. And again, highly recommend the Gorilla Glue brand glue sticks because they have the strongest hold and they work amazing. There's also a couple little broken pieces near the front, so to remove those, I just took my scissors and cut them off, and it looks good as new. This thing definitely needed a new paint job, so to do this, I'm just using some spray paint in a matte clamshell color, and I did a couple coats of this for full coverage. And here's how this one turned out. I think this little wicker chair makes the best little plant stand. As you can see here, I have my fake little succulents in it. But if you're interested in purchasing this piece, it is available in my Etsy shop for $22.95. And here is a review of all the flips that we did today, plus a little mishmash of other vintage items available in my Etsy shop. Or if you're local to the Fairfield, Iowa area, you can stop by my shop. I'm open Fridays and Saturdays 10 to 5. Be sure to leave me some comments down below. Let me know what you think of these flips. Do you like the boho style? Do you lean more towards another style? Let me know down below. And be sure to subscribe for more DIY videos, and there's also furniture flip videos coming as well. Thanks for stopping by.